Hi guys, glad you could join me again tonight on part number 2 of the explaining of the universal node. First of all, to explain the universal node is of course totally impossible in words, neither is it possible to describe it in a drawing like this. This is just a little attempt by me to explain it a little bit, but of course this is in reality is a 5-dimensional structure, metaphysical structure, that in a 3-dimensional world is impossible to explain. So this is like just on a 2-dimensional surface explaining a very, very complicated structure, but I'm trying to make it as simplified as possible. As I explained last with part number 1, this side of the field is your lower levels of consciousness. This side is your higher levels of consciousness, that is your lifeline that you're currently on, and I explained about the dark transition where you either move to a higher level or to a lower level. Today I want to discuss a little bit further. This field, of course, is infinite. Now we're moving right into, this is the higher part from the previous page, the higher levels. Now you're going to very, very high levels of consciousness not yet realized or activated. Now I've colored in a few dots here, a few nodes here, in the field very far into a higher level of consciousness. Now, if you go back to the previous lower levels, below, say, very far back in the past, to the time of the cavemen or the prehistoric people, they were at these levels, very low consciousness. And we go right into the future where the iPhone was discovered and made. For instance, those node points have been activated, but from a caveman's perspective, right here at the lower end of consciousness, it is far into the future. But while these cavemen were alive, that iPhone already existed, that time already in potentiality in the metaphysical realm. It just had to be activated by an awareness coming in contact with it. And that is exactly what happens with people like an Albert Einstein. He lives like the rest of us in this field or this page. Some people are a little bit more advanced in consciousness, others are a bit lower in consciousness, but basically we say we are on the same page. If you cross over to the next page, Einstein, or an Albert Einstein, was able through imagination to skip this page and go right into, say for instance, that's not the iPhone but the theory of relativity he discovered, and he focused, his awareness was there in the future, in something that was not yet discovered or made, not discovered, because you don't really discover something, it is already there. You uncover it or you activate it. Now you can go right into the future with supermatrix funneling. It's like a time machine. You can go right into it. That field where the iPhone existed in the time of the caveman has got specific coordinates, and the node that you're on at the moment can communicate to you, or you communicate to the universal node through the nodes that you're currently activating here. It's all interconnected with these lines. All the nodes are interconnected as one. So that node knows exactly where those coordinates are, and it will return those coordinates to you. And you can do supermatrix funneling from there to there, as explained with supermatrix funneling, what you do. in node 94. So you activate that field which contains the iPhone. But say, for instance, now you're in a caveman, but you're a very advanced caveman. You are spiritually very advanced, and you use your imagination to go. You connect with the field of universal node, and in imagination you travel and you find those coordinates. As explained, everyone has got a specific coordinates that you can find, and the caveman finds it. Now he can see the iPhone. It gets activated there. But electricity hasn't been discovered, glass hasn't been discovered, plastic hasn't been discovered, computer chip hasn't been discovered. So to get to the iPhone, there is the discovery of electricity maybe there. There is discovery of glass there. There is the discovery of electricity. And so you go on and on. It's a progressive, as people's consciousness go higher and higher, they reach electricity. And then they reach, and so it goes on and on and on and on, until they can make up the whole iPhone. Or you can reverse engineer it. You can take it backwards. You can come here with the coordinates through supermatrix funneling, and then you go backwards. You analyze the iPhone, you look inside it through imagination, through those coordinates, and you can go back and you discover, there's something that needs to come, and you reverse engineer it. But the normal way is to progressively move lifelines up, higher consciousness, higher consciousness, higher consciousness, until you get and discover something here. Then we also have, like I explained, a dark network transceiver. This contains a central person or a central node. If you see the nodes as people, which they actually also are, this is a central person. He draws or he activates all these people around him. He's got a very strong character and leadership abilities, like a Hitler, for instance. That's a very dark transceiver. He forms a funnel, and these people act together as one. So it is a mind field forming a dark transceiver. I will discuss that more in detail in part number 3. Thank you for listening. And I hope you understand a little bit more about the universal node. Love and light to you.